Yeah, hello, dear friends. Today I want to talk about talent, parable of talents, and man's service to humanity. And I wrote something down on my blog, and I want to use myself as an example. And I'm also going to be taking a reading from the Holy Bible because I'm primarily a Christian. I'm going to be talking about the parable of talents that Jesus Christ used. Um, just a brief story about myself. There was a time when I was making lots of money. I had lots of businesses. I was running like five different businesses at the same time. I was into sports betting. I had a computer training center. I was into internet marketing, website design, and I had lots of stuff under me. And I was making loads of money, but I was not happy. It's as if there was a void which I needed to fill. And even though I was making lots of money, I had a very big office and all that, I was not fulfilled. Hell, I was even doing football betting. I had a big football betting an office, and I wasn't even watching football. Just to show you how it was, I was just doing it for the money. But then God had always been calling me that I should come and do something for Him. And right from when I was small, that I've always had that nagging, that calling, that thing knocking on my door. And maybe because my name is Samuel, I don't know, but the thing kept on coming till a series of events made me realize that I had to stop all what I was doing and concentrate on this thing which I'm now doing, called the Roving Messenger Ministry. So this what I'm about to share with you right now is the parable of talents and man's service to humanity, and I hope it touches a void. I hope it touches someone there to be able to go out and be able to do the things which God has sent you to do in this world. Thank you. Yeah, hello, dear friends. Today, I want to talk about the parable of talents and man's service to humanity. And while I was thinking about this, while I was praying about it, I reflected upon Lord Jesus the Christ, his parable on the parable of talents. And I, being primarily a Christian, and I will be taking my reading from the book, the Holy Bible, Matthew 25, 14 to 30. My messages cuts across all religions, but because I have a Christian background, I will be taking my reading from the Holy Bible. I believe that other religions have similar parables or stories to buttress what I'm talking about. So, the parable of talents and man's service to humanity. The parable of the bags of gold, also known as the parable of talents. Matthew 25, 14 to 30, NIV, New International Version. The parable of the bags of gold. Again, it will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted his wealth to them. To one he gave 5 bags of gold, to another 2 bags, and to another 1 bag, each according to his ability. Then he went on his journey. The man who had received 5 bags of gold went at once and put his money to work and gained 5 bags more. So also the man with 2 bags of gold gained 2 more. But the man who had received 1 bag went off, dug a hole in the ground, and hid his master's money. After a long time, the master of those servants returned and settled accounts with them. The man who had received 5 bags of gold brought the master's other 5. Master, he said, you entrusted me with 5 bags of gold. See, I have gained 5 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. The man with 2 bags of gold also came. Master, he said, you have entrusted me with 2 bags of gold. See, I have gained 2 more. His master replied, well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness. Then the man who had received 1 bag of gold came. Master, he said, I knew that you are a hard man, harvesting where you have not sown, and gathering where you have not scattered seed. So I was afraid, and went out and hid your gold in the ground. See, here is what belongs to you. His master replied, you wicked, lazy servant. So you knew that I harvest where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed. Well then, you should have put my money on deposit with the bankers, so that when I returned, I would have received it back with interest. So take the bag of gold from him and give it to the one who has 10 bags. For whoever has will be given more, and they will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what they have will be taken from them. And throw that worthless servant outside into the darkness, where there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So now that I've done that, let's go straight into what I wrote here now. Every man, woman, and child are endowed with specific talents, because this is God's own way of trying to express himself here on earth through different individuals and circumstances. And just like our fingerprints, which are unique, so is everyone's talent. But you see, there are some people who do not exhibit or do not showcase their talent. They stifle it, either because in their minds they think that they are not worthy enough to exhibit this talent, or the recipients whom they are supposed to give this or showcase these talents to are not worthy enough to receive it. But just like in the story of the parable of talents, where there were 3 people were given talents, and the first 2 performed well, and the third person buried his own, and the master was angry with him, so would it be on the last day of your judgment. God is going to ask you what you did with those talents he gave you. He's going to ask you, what did you do with those splendid inspirations, those hunches, those ideas he gave you to share with people, but you refused to? He's going to ask you, why were you afraid to showcase them? He's going to ask you, what did you do with the wealth he blessed you with? What did you do with the capacity he made you to occupy so that you can serve others? Did you use them for your own selfish gain, or for others to evolve? You see, the talent, the ideas, the wealth, the capacity, everything he gave you is his, and he gave it to you to help yourself evolve towards him, and also to help others evolve too. This is because we are all interconnected to him as God's children. He did not ask you to bury it, like the third person in the parable of talents, or like in the similar parable Jesus Christ cited, where to hide the lamp under the bushel instead of giving it to others to let it shine. Some people would hide their lamp under a bushel instead of it to let it shine. They will hide it under a table. It's the same concept here. Now, it is well known in human development that any talent that is not used whittles away, and dies off. And if it was tied to some specialized organ in the body, example, the pineal gland, which a lot of us as humans have, but have become vestigial, that is, they become atrophied, they become vestigial, they do not function as they should. And the blood or the nutrients that should flow to this organ is now diverted to more functioning organs. So it is with the selfish man who buried his talent to the ground. The little talent he had was taken away from him and given to someone else who showed more promising ability to deliver. And as they said, there was gnashing of teeth and regrets. I brought this topic about because there are a lot of people who have talents out there, and sometimes they cringe, they're afraid to bring out these talents which God has blessed them with. And as I said in my write-up here, there are some people who have these talents, but instead of them showcasing it to people who are in need of it, they stifle it, they hide it away because they feel that the person whom they are to give it to or to showcase it to is not worthy enough. And God on the last day is going to ask them what they did with those talents. I want to give an example with my own life. I used to be a web designer and still am, but I don't design websites as I used to before. I started designing websites maybe like 2003, and over the years, when I stopped actively like 2 years ago, I had accumulated maybe like 70 clients thereabout. And there was something I noticed. I would come to my clients, give them great ideas. This is the way you should go with your business. This is the way you should promote your business so that you make lots of money. But funny enough, many of them never listened to me. I don't know why, but some of them felt that they knew a lot, and at the time I got very angry, and I decided that instead of me using my talents for these people who do not appreciate what I'm giving them, I will use it for myself. And so I started this ministry which I have now called the Roving Messenger, which was an inspiration. And I started gradually, and I had this my blog which you are seeing here, and I used to write, once in a while, and I had a YouTube channel, I had a Facebook and all that, and I used to write. And there's sometimes I will have some very brilliant ideas, and I'll be like, man, this idea is too much, or maybe people will not be able to appreciate it. And God will now tell me, look, my friend, I'm the one that gave you this idea, put it and share it. And so one day I took an evaluation of myself, and I asked myself, okay, what are my specific talents? I know that I can talk very well. I'm a website designer, I'm an internet marketer, I promote very well, I know how to use YouTube, I know how to do videos. And so I decided to harness all my talents to start this program. So from now on, I'm going to be focusing mostly on my talents, because I do not want to go up there and God will not ask me, Samuel, I gave you all these specific talents. You are a web designer, you are an internet marketer, you know how to use the YouTube, you know how to use Facebook, and then I've been giving you loads of inspiration, loads of ideas to be able to show my people to the promised land. Why have you not done them? Why have you not done them the specific ways I asked you to do them? And then I do not want to ask God and tell him that I was afraid. So what I did was that I had to now let go of all my clients, all of them, almost all. The ones that didn't appreciate me, I let go of all of them and just focused on just one or two, and then decided to focus on this, my ministry called the Roving Messenger, which came as an inspiration. Now there are a lot of us here who have inspiration. God gives you loads of inspiration to be able to help people, to be able to help humanity. God has put you in a position to be able to help people because maybe you are wealthy, but you have used that thing, you have maybe stifled the thing because you are afraid. or because you feel that people are not worthy enough of what you know. And on the last day, God is going to judge you. So I urge you, whatever talent you have, because that talent is God's, you are just a vessel for God. We are all vessels for God. God is in all of us and is trying to express himself so that all of us can come together to him as one. So I urge you, whatever talent you have, use it judiciously, use it for the betterment of yourself and for the betterment of humanity. Thank you, and God bless you.